Verse 1. Say to your brethren, my people, and to your sisters, mercy is shown. In this case, when it says my people in Hebrew would be Ammi, which, as we saw in the previous chapter, Yahweh had told Hosea to get a wife who had been a harlot in order for him to understand what Yahweh was going through with his people who were acting as a harlot, going to the idols and sacrificing to false Elohim. So he had two children, well, three, but he named one of them Lo Ami, which means not my people, and the other one Lo Ruhama, which means that he would not show mercy. But let me go to the actual chapter 1 of Hosea, and it says verse 6, and she conceived again and bore a daughter. Then Elohim said to him, call her name Lo Ruhama, for I will no longer have mercy on the house of Israel. Ruhama comes from Rachem, which means mercy. So Lo means no. So Lo Ruhama means no mercy. So the name given to this daughter was prophetical, saying that the people would have no mercy before Yahweh because of their actions. However, Yahweh changes that in the chapter that we are beginning to read, and that pretty much, in a nutshell, has to do with our faith in Yahushua, the sacrifice that Yahushua would come to do, the ministry, the sacrifice, the resurrection, and then the giving of the Spirit for us to understand the scriptures. So turning that lack of mercy into mercy, and turning a people who were not his people into his people. So Lo Ami is found in verse 8 of chapter 1. Now when she had weaned Lo Ruhama, she conceived and bore a son. Then Elohim said, call his name Lo Ami, not my people, for you are not my people, and I will not be your Elohim. So now I will read just the last verse of chapter 1. It said, then the children of Yehudah and the children of Israel shall be gathered together, and appoint for themselves one head, and they shall come up out of the land. For great will be the day of Yezreel, which is a name that is very similar to Israel, so is connected to Israel, who is the father of the 12 tribes and who represents the second coming, just like Yitzhak represents the first coming. Just like Yitzhak was almost sacrificed by Abraham to show that Yahweh would send his son who would be sacrificed as the lamb provided by Yahweh, like Abraham prophesied in that chapter in Genesis. Then Jacob, who becomes the father of the 12 tribes, is like the last who comes for the chosen few, who are 12,000 from each of the tribes, and therefore becomes the spiritual father through the doctrine that they receive through him. So that is the head. And just like it says here, then the children of Yehudah and the children of Israel shall be gathered together. Because just like Yahweh separated in two for the first and last manifestation, as shown in Isaiah and many parts in scriptures, also the people were separated. In Yehudah, those of the south and those of the north, Israel. Yahushua came for the lost tribes of Israel, so that would be for those of the north. So the last would come for those of the south, which would be the Yahudim, meaning the chosen few who become kings, because the land of Yehudah, or at least the land of Benjamin, who was next to Yehudah, was that of Jerusalem, where the Yahudim, the kings, were, just as the Levites, as the priests. So here in that chapter, which I already explained last week, but it's important for what we are about to read, we see that once the first and last have come, just like first and last become one, as we see in Zechariah 14:9, that in that day Yahweh will be one and his name one. If that day he will be one, is because in this day, meaning during the time of this world of human history, during human history, which is temporal, right before the day in which we enter the eternal. Pretty much that's what I mean. During history, Yahweh would come twice, through the tribe of Yehudah and through the tribe of Yahusef, also representing that separation that I already mentioned regarding the kingdom of Israel and how it separated after Shlomo. So, just like the people separated, Yahweh said that he would separate his manifestation in two, one through the tribe of Yehudah and one through the tribe of Yosef, as it is clear in Genesis 49. So, in Zechariah 14:9, Yahweh says that he will be one once again after having been first and last, therefore two. So first and last become one, and that is also confirmed in Ezekiel 37, where Yahweh tells Ezekiel to grab in his hand two branches or sticks of wood representing Yehudah and Yosef, representing the two manifestations and representing the two peoples, and then they will become one in his hand. So there are many other things to be said there, and I already mentioned some of them last week, well, the time in which we read chapter 1. So that is what is being said in the last verse of chapter 1. Then the children of Yehudah and the children of Israel shall be gathered together, just like first and last, and therefore they will appoint for themselves one head, being that Yahweh through Mashiach. And they shall come up out of the land, for great will be the day of Israel. Now, going back to Hosea 2, it says, say to your brethren, my people, and to your sisters, mercy is shown. So say to my brethren, Ammi, and to your sisters, Ruhama. So take away the law, and not meaning Torah law, but meaning the word no in Hebrew, which is pronounced law. So yeah, hopefully no misinterpretation right there. Take away the not my people and make it my people, showing how after the first and last, when Zechariah 14:9 and Ezekiel 37 are fulfilled through both manifestations of Yahweh on this earth, then those who were not his people will become his people, and those who had found no mercy will receive mercy.